This message didn't show up by mistake. It's here because your heart is ready to hear it. If you've been quietly holding yourself together after giving your light to someone who only pretended to care, this is for you. What happened wasn't just a failed connection. It was something deeper. You were caught in a silent battle, not with someone who didn't understand you, but with someone who used your kindness for their own gain. They didn't love your heart, they depended on it. They took your light and made it seem like theirs. But everything shifted the moment you stopped trying to be seen, understood, or chosen by them. When you choose peace instead of trying to explain, when you stopped giving all your energy away, something inside you changed. And that change broke the hold they had on you. They no longer get to pull from your light. They don't get to twist your words or keep you feeling unsure. Now, they have to sit with the empty space you used to fill. And that space, it speaks louder than anything you could have said. This isn't just about walking away from someone. It's about coming back to yourself. It's about standing in your own truth and knowing that you don't have to beg to be valued. What you've gained, your peace, your strength, your self-worth, is more powerful than anything you let go of. You didn't need to fight harder. You just needed to see yourself clearly. And now that you do, everything is falling into place to match the stronger, wiser you. You've already won, just by choosing you. And that choice will keep opening doors that were always meant for the real you. They didn't show up in your life to build something real with you. They came to copy what you had. They watched how you moved, how you cared, how you gave so freely. But instead of being thankful, they used it. They didn't offer love. They studied your light because they had none of their own. It felt deep. It felt like a real connection. But that's because they were reflecting your energy back at you. The kindness you saw in them, it was yours. The warmth you felt, it came from you. They weren't showing you who they truly were. They were wearing a mask built from your light. They didn't want to walk with you. They wanted to hold you, not out of care, but control. They used your big heart as a tool. They leaned on your love, not because they valued it, but because they knew how strong it was. And when the day came that you stopped giving, when you walked away or they disappeared, it shook them. They thought you'd stay. They thought you'd keep choosing them over yourself. But you didn't. That moment changed everything. You saw the truth. You realized it was never love, it was needed. And once you saw it clearly, the whole illusion faded. Now they can't touch you. Not because they don't want to, but because you finally stopped handing them pieces of your power. They have nothing left to take, and nowhere left to hide. Your belief in yourself broke the spell. And with that, you didn't just take your energy back, you closed the door for good. When you stopped answering, it wasn't just silence, it was a shift. The messages went unread, the calls weren't returned, and the energy between you broke completely. And in that emptiness, they were left alone with themselves, without your light to distract them. You didn't feel the need to explain anymore. You weren't looking for understanding or trying to prove anything. Your quiet wasn't weak, it was strong. Strong enough to speak louder than any argument ever could. Without your response, their act started to fall apart. The games didn't work anymore. The guilt they used to throw your way had nowhere to land. Your stillness made the truth clearer than ever. They couldn't pretend anymore. Not when your presence was gone. You were once calm in their chaos, but when you stepped away, the truth of who they were was all that remained. No story, no excuse, no fake emotion could bring you back. You had seen too much. You knew too much. That quiet was your voice saying, "I see through it now. I won't hand over my peace to someone who never treated it with care." You didn't leave with drama. You didn't need to slam any doors. You just stopped showing up for someone who only wanted you when it suited them. And that, your absence, your peace, your decision to walk away without a fight, became the ending they never expected. It was your quiet goodbye that held the most power. And in that silence, you took everything back, your worth, your voice, and your freedom. This was never real love. It was needed hiding in disguise. They didn't come to grow with you. They came to take from you. Your attention, your care, your energy. It became something they depended on, not something they cherished. You offered comfort, and they clung to it. You gave your time, and they soaked it up. What felt meaningful to you was only a way for them to feel better about themselves. And when you finally stepped away, everything they built from your light started falling apart. They didn't miss you. They missed what you gave them. The fake profiles, the hidden messages, the watching from a distance. It wasn't longing. It was desperation. You were their supply, and once you cut that off, they felt the emptiness they always carried inside. But you're not the same anymore. You've grown. You see clearly now. You no longer accept crumbs and call it love. You no longer mistake being used for being needed. They said it was love, but it was control. They made it seem deep, but it was draining. And now that you're no longer offering your light freely, they're stuck with the truth. It was never about connection. It was about talking. You were calm in their storm. You were the strength they leaned on. But that version of you, always giving, always hoping, they can't reach that version anymore. You've taken your energy back. You've come back home to yourself. And without your light, they're left in the dark they once tried to cover with your love. As you grow stronger, their grip starts to slip. Your light is shining brighter, and it's making their shadows harder to hide. With no more lies left that can hold up, they turn to blame. They try to twist the story, hoping someone will see them as the one who was hurt, the one who was left behind. But the truth has a way of showing itself. Even when they speak with calm voices and soft faces, their energy tells a different story. People start noticing that something feels off. The words don't match the feeling. The stories don't line up. You don't argue. You don't try to prove anything. You stay in your peace. The same quiet they once used against you is now revealing everything they tried to hide. Their act is falling apart. The version of themselves they worked so hard to show the world is starting to fade. And underneath it, just fear and a need to stay in control. But control only works when the other person plays along. And you've stopped playing. You've moved forward. You've stepped into a new space where their drama can't follow. While they keep spinning stories, you keep growing. And what's breaking them isn't anything you did, it's the weight of their own lies catching up with them. You stood in your truth. You didn't need to yell or explain. You just chose peace. And now, that quiet truth is speaking louder than all the noise they're trying to make. This wasn't just about discovering their deception, it was about rediscovering your divinity. You've always been the source, the light, the medicine. They tried to confuse you so you'd forget, but something inside you stayed intact. A knowing, a whisper, a sacred voice that said, "You are more than this." And now you don't pour into what's broken without boundaries. You don't give endlessly to those who can't hold what you carry. Your energy is sacred, your space is protected, and your love, it now flows where it is honored, not where it is drained. You've reclaimed your identity, reclaimed your time, reclaimed your light. You no longer explain to those committed to misunderstanding. And the version of you that tolerated less than you deserved, that version no longer exists. You've ascended, you've awakened, and there's no turning back. So let them watch, let them whisper, let them wonder how you rose from what was meant to destroy you. You don't chase closure anymore. You don't wait for apologies. Your joy is louder than their noise. Your presence is your proof. You've stepped into a new season, a sacred unfolding. No longer surviving, but thriving. No longer questioning, but knowing. They lost something irreplaceable, and you gained something eternal. The storm didn't end you, it awakened you. The silence wasn't emptiness, it was your rebirth. You no longer carry shame, you carry wisdom. You no longer seek validation, you embody truth. This is your return, your rise, your divine confirmation. You are no longer the wounded, you are the warrior reborn. And this story? It's yours now, written in power, spoken in truth, and rising in purpose. You were never meant to shrink. You were never meant to explain your worth. You were always meant to rise.